my friends. Hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot. And hopefully we're gonna encourage, elevate, and empower you guys today. I just want to share something. It's about the awakening journey. I'm currently going through another phase of awakening, which is tied into not sleeping so much, waking up at night if I am sleeping, or when I am sleeping, like hot hands, hot feet. Like I've known all of these stages before. Not being able to eat certain things, or not being able to eat at all, or just fresh things that really push matters. And I know all that. It's like the, getting rid of toxins in the body. It's the really being vitalized by fresh stuff, and the other stuff not so much right now at all. So these are stages that you're going through, and the reason I'm shooting this video is if you are on your awakening journey, or either if you're new to the process, or if you're just already known to all of these processes, I just want you to know my own process, so maybe you can find similarities and know that that's fine, that's totally normal what you're going through. And it also, of course, will expand your mind. So there are moments, especially when you're new to the journey, where you think you may go nuts. Of course, when you're growing into this journey, you're already aware of this process. Anytime something is stretching your imagination or challenging your current belief system, this is when the feeling of, oh my God, is gonna come in. And when you know how to deal with it, it's fine. You can always somehow keep it like in a certain frame, and know what's really going on. In the beginning, I know that this was really challenging for me, and I really thought I was going nuts. Not so much anymore now, again, because I know the process, I know what's going on. So yeah, and with that come new gifts. I feel an elevated sense of energies. Like I said, like my whole body sometimes is really like vibrating, because the vibration is getting higher and up a notch. And it doesn't mean it stays there. That's the interesting thing, at least not in my experience, because I've noticed myself, you go up really high, and then it sometimes drops a little bit to another thing, but somehow they take you higher if they need you on a different elevated level, maybe to communicate differently, to bring in certain light energies, light codes. I don't know like the precise process. I haven't asked that yet, but I'm getting into that more and more, because one of the things that has really come through is my creativity has spiked. Like again, I'm drawing just like I used to draw. I just didn't allow myself to draw like that anymore. And now it's here though, it's back. And I'm creating, and this is really, really cool, because I'm not putting a filter on myself. There are no limitations, contrary to what I was being told in school, which I never understood. Excuse me, you got to do things a certain way. There are certain styles that you need to draw. You can't mix this and then. I was always like, why can't I not? Isn't that like self-expression? Isn't that, isn't that the beauty of it? And I always did it anyways. Without the sketches, I didn't see the sense in sketching things, because I was like, but I'm doing it. I don't need a sketch. It'll come through in some way. And then there it is. I don't need the sketch. And that's kind of like also what's going to help you in letting go. You know what I mean? You don't have to know like the full picture, what it's going to look like. It's not yours to decide in a way, because spirit, of course, if you want to go along with this does not mean spirit makes the decision here. It just means it can be very smart at a certain point in this journey to go along with what spirit is bringing through for you, and that you do not need that sketch yourself. You would not be able to draw that sketch in the way that spirit does. So when you start to draw or paint or create in any way, that can actually really help you understand how you can let go, because you might think, I need this color, I need that color, I'm going to use that fabric. But spirit's like, no, we're using this. Use this one. That's going to help. That's going to be beneficial. And you may not understand, again, the full picture, like the outcome, and you're not meant to. You're just meant to use the certain color that spirit advises you to use in that moment, because, again, they know what the picture is going to look like, and that's all that you need to know. Use that color in that moment. So that's with regards to intuitive nudges that you're receiving, because again, you will not know the full thing oftentimes, and then when it's almost done, then you get to understand what it is. And with the spiritual gifts that are coming in right now, Ra just made contact with me, and that was really interesting because I was just, as you know, I started to get into the written channeling a lot more, where I would just ask questions, which I don't really know why I haven't done that before. I have done it to a certain extent, but not like I'm doing it now, because I'm a very critical person. Like, I will not trust easily, and that's from my upbringing. So I didn't trust spirit in the beginning, not that much. As the relationship continued and grew, you know, I realized I had every reason to trust, and yeah. So I started to ask questions, and critical questions, because again, I'm a critical person. I want to know who I'm dealing with, and I want to know, like, I want to ask the difficult questions, because, such as, you know, why are all the atrocities in the world? I want to know the answers to those, and they will give me the answers, like, when I'm ready for it. And it looks like I'm at a stage right now where I am ready to receive the answers, but that again comes with an expansion. So expansion of consciousness, and that is sometimes, again, challenging for the mind, because you have to let go of certain belief systems that no longer serve, and you're now ready to grow up more. It's much like you're coming into adulthood, and you're letting go of certain things that you believed as a child. For example, it's losing a bit of naivete, but it's also a process of regaining it. It's you're becoming very clear on certain truths, and at the same time, it's a very interesting process, because there's the adult and there's the child self almost, and the adult is aware and is dealing with all of that, yet at the same time the child wants to play more. So there's this balance going on. It's really interesting. It's also with regards to you know, what I find pleasurable, what I find that is benefiting myself, what is nurturing, is becoming blatantly clear, versus what is not serving me. So the contrast is really strong. It is really there, and it's really felt. And there are certain changes that still need to occur in my own life, so that I can be, you know, completely comfortable within that again. But I know that this is a process, and I like to describe it like a roller coaster ride. You cannot really get off while you're on the ride. So what do? You might as well start to enjoy it, because there are phases where you're just like, yeah, throw hands in the air and be like, all this adrenaline, you know, when you just that plunge downwards. You know, but it can also, it's a matter of perception, because if you're not aware of what's happening, this could be frightening. You know what I mean? And it was for me in the beginning. It isn't for me anymore, because I trust that my soul knows the way, spirit knows the way. Yeah, and the processes are just much the same, I would say, as you're going through them. Like the clearing, the purifying, the going up, the going down, the shadow work, all that stuff, you know. How you're supposed to look at things and not run from them. This is like one of the major lessons. Oh my god, I was such a runner, like by nature. Or, well, from my upbringing, right? And I'm just learning to stay and face my own stuff more and more. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, and learning to love myself more, and who I really am, which is really cool. I like that, to be more of myself and to present myself like that to the world as well. So the Raw Collective, they just came in as I did a written channeling, and I was really surprised, because I'm not really pushing for any of these spiritual experiences. I still am not. They are making themselves known to me, and with Ra, when they made contact, it was so familiar. It was like meeting an old friend. Also, the information that came through that they gave me, which I may or may not share yet, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable quite yet in sharing it, but at some point I know that I will. It was the same with Isis. When Isis made herself known to me, same thing. I wasn't comfortable in the beginning, and I thought it was for somebody else, which it ultimately is. It is for the collective. It is information for the collective. But for now, I'll I'll share it when I feel like the time is there. But it felt like I knew the information already, and I said it to them as well. I'm just like, it feels like I know the information that is coming through. Like, I know I've heard it before, And they said, yeah, that's because you have. And then there's this whole forgetting kind of a thing. But then you remember, again, it's this bodily sensation almost that you know what they're saying. You've been there before. You've heard this before. You've lived this before. So very interesting. Also with regards to my past, like I asked a lot of questions when it comes to that. Like why, those are like the basic essential questions to me. Why are we here? Why are we going through what we're going through? What is this all about? And a lot of those questions were answered. But again, I want to back check them. I don't want to just give them out to you without having properly reflected on what they said. Yeah. But phew, I mean that's really cool. And when you know certain things, the reframing that's happening in your head is crazy. It goes from blaming my parents, blaming my past, blaming I don't know who, to like an understanding and a compassion and forgiveness. And even more than that, there's a sense of peace that is coming in with that, which I've always wanted. That's what I was striving for. I wasn't striving for the spiritual experiences, but I was rather striving for, having peace of mind, peace of heart, just like living my life without being so driven and overshadowed by my past. And I believe that's actually what's happening right now. Starting to understand all those, like getting the answers to all those questions that I've had for decades, which is brilliant. Yeah, and that's that. So lots of new things. I'm pretty sure me sharing this also means that a lot of you guys are going through this process right now of an awakening, of questions being answered, or you soon will be going through that. Or you just have gone through it. Because we're all kind of wired. We're one soul tribe that is coming together here. So that's really cool. You can let me know in the comments or not, however you wish and however you feel. And I'll share with you the material like once it's properly digested by myself and once I feel like comfortable enough with it to share this with you. But it's very important information. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Thank you for checking in. And I'm sending you so much love, light, and shadow. Until next time, bye.